Testing, 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 testing. I think we good. Think we good. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Keith back with another weekly analysis live stream stock/futures. Today is Sunday, July 12th, 2026. We're finna do the weekly analysis for the week of July 13th through the 17th, 2026. All right. Before we get started, of course, what's up? I know it's been a little minute since we did a live stream in general on this page. I have been doing some live streams on TikTok, like one or two, just testing it out. But other than that, pretty much just been trading on my own time and not on stream, honestly. But like I said before, I had took a quick little break from streaming on YouTube. Be sure to follow and click the link to the Discord. So join the Discord to stay up to date with anything that I may post. More than likely, I will post it in there in the Discord if I don't post on YouTube. So be sure to go follow the Discord. It is completely free to join the Discord. So like I said, click the link in the description and it should be a link to the Discord there. Other than that, we're gonna get into this week, man. Get into another new week. Of course, hopefully we have some great trades this week. And yeah, other than that, let's get into it. First thing first, if you're new to this channel, first like, share, subscribe, so you and turn the notification bell on, so you'll be notified when I do go live or whenever I drop a new video, any content, a community post, whatever. You'll be notified and be aware of it. But also, if you're new here, first thing we do when we do our weekly analysis is go over the economic news. We get our economic news from investing.com. We put it on 3 stars, United States news only. So if you ever wondering why our economic calendar seems to be shorter than most economic calendars you may see, it's because of that. We filter it down because we only want the high impact news, United States news only. Okay? All right. So like I said, it is investing.com. All right. So looking at this economic calendar right here, Monday, July 13th is not on the calendar. So either we just don't have any high impact news on that day or it's just not updated as of now. Always check your calendar in the mornings of a day because sometimes the calendars get updated in pre-market and a day that may not have news or certain news that was on a specific day might get moved to a new date. But as of right now, currently at 7:49 on Sunday the 12th, there is no news, no 3-star news for Monday, July 13th. So coming into Monday, it should be a normal Monday. Don't have no high impact news, so really expecting to be a normal Monday. Tuesday, July 14th, we got at 7:30 CPI. Also core CPI is just 3 different versions of CPI, all at 7:30. And that is all pre-market news. So we're not really too afraid of it. We don't usually trade until after 8:30. We try to start trade once market opens. So we shouldn't be afraid of the CPI news coming at 7:30. The biggest thing is it may have some type of effect on the market when it first opened at the opening bell. So we got to be on the lookout for that. But other than that, it should be smooth selling on Tuesday. Then going into Wednesday, July 15th, 2026, we got at 7:30 PPI and then at 9:30 crude oil. So for the 7:30 PPI, just like I said for Tuesday, that is pre-market news. So we treat it the exact same way as we do the CPI that we talked about for Tuesday. We let it come out. We might give it the first 5 to 10 minutes of the market open to see how it affects the market. But other than that, it should be smooth selling. And then at 9:30 crude oil news, when it comes to at least over here at G.F.T. family, we recognize crude oil, but since we don't specifically trade crude oil over here, it usually don't have crazy impact on the overall market. It usually mostly just impacts crude oil itself. So we're not really scared. We really will trade through it. If we see a trade at 929, we will trade through it. Like I said, at rare occasions it do affect the whole market, but really it's 3-star news, but it's not effective, honestly, for us when it comes to M&Q and ES. So yeah, Wednesday really should be like a normal Wednesday. Usually Wednesdays we expect a pullback, so definitely we'll be looking for that or some type of reversal. But other than that, Wednesday should be a normal Wednesday. Then we're going into Thursday, July 16th, 2026. 7:30 retail sales, 7:30 core retail sales, 7:30 Philadelphia Fed manufacturing index, and then also 7:30 initial jobs claim. So we got a lot of these are key news events, but they're all pre-market. It seems like a lot of these days we got pre-market news. It might be, like I said, it might get updated throughout the week to where they push some of this stuff into like after the bell. But as of right now, all of it is pre-market. Um, so we're gonna treat it the same way as we said for Monday and Tuesday. Let the news come out, see how it affects the market the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then we should be smooth selling when it comes to getting in trades. And then as we see, we don't see Friday up here, so Friday, as of now, does not have any high impact news coming out. So that is the economic calendar for this week. Like I said, throughout the week, be sure to check it. You know, it might update here and there. So always just be sure to check your. I like to check it every morning right before I get into a trade. So yeah, that's the economic calendar. Next, we're going to go to the earnings report for this week. For earnings, if you're new to this channel, for the earnings report, we use Instagram, and the Instagram page I believe is ESP uh Whisper, so it's earnings something Whisper, but it's I think it's ESP in the front. So earnings Whisper is the page we use, and we just take a screenshot of his earnings report that he usually drops. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Monday, honestly, and disclaimer, when I go over the earnings report sheet, I only point out the ones that I recognize and kind of feel that can have some type of impact. If I don't recognize a certain company or stock, uh, don't be upset with me. Just comment down below and be like, hey Keith, you may have overlooked this one. I think this one might be a good one to check out. And I might get to it, throughout the week. Just let me know, comment down below, and I may get to it for you. And yeah, but as of right now, we're going to just go over the ones that stand out for me. Okay. All right, going on to Monday. Don't see anything crazy for Monday. Monday look like just a regular Monday, no crazy earnings or nothing coming out. Then going into Tuesday before the open, I see City. Maybe if you're dealing with like financial banks and stuff like that, credit cards and stuff, you might want to check that out. Bank of America, Wells Fargo. So it's really looking like banks and stuff at the beginning of the week. Other than that, I don't really see nothing that strikes my eye. Going into Wednesday, before the open, ASML, I definitely like to check that out. Um, I see Morgan Stanley and Johnson and Johnson. Sometimes them two are decent to check out. To look at. PNC and M&T and Cintas. Wednesday before the open, it's okay. It's solid. It might be some sleepers inside of here. Like I said, at ASML, Johnson and Johnson, Morgan Stanley, It's a couple of them. You have to really look into it. But I say before the open is decent. Wednesday before the open is decent. After the close, United. Really, after the close is not nothing that really too much stand out for me. Then going into Thursday. All right, going into Thursday, we got TMSC, Bank Corp. Those really the main two I see before the open. Oh, and GE. Those the main ones. Oh, and United Health Group. I didn't even see that at the top. It's so small. So United Health Group, TSM, GE. So it's some decent Thursday before the open is some decent earnings coming out. Now, of course, I know everybody see this. After the close, we got Netflix. Definitely will be checking out Netflix, man. Netflix, and then I maybe Wise. Only reason I'm saying Wise is because if you trade prop firms, Top Step, that's where you can get your payouts too. Is Wise. So I'm starting to get more familiar with Wise. Um, yeah, but really Netflix the main key. Netflix is the main one that I'm be focusing on after the close. So Thursday overall look like the best day when it comes to earnings. Then Friday we got Regions, Truist, Travelers.com. Friday is okay. It's an okay day. Friday's an okay day. So honestly, the biggest days look like Thursday and Wednesday. Other than that, the other days should be pretty smooth and normal type days. Okay. All right. So that is the economic calendar and the earnings. So now let's get into the chart. All right. And based off the earnings and economic calendar, I'm gonna be honest, it don't seem like nothing crazy spectacular gonna happen this week, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, going into this week, we're gonna start off with SPY, and then we're gonna work our way down my listing. So going into this week, last week for SPY, we end up closing bullish. Closed with a nice hammer candle. It was a green candle, man. We end up closing at 754.95. For this week, like I said, we closed bullish. For this upcoming week, I'm thinking we should at least sweep this previous week high. At least come back above that 754.95. If we do push above this previous swing high over here at 760.40, that will cause us to be in a uptrend. Okay, as of right now, we got lower low, higher high. We got some type of low. We don't know if it's gonna be a higher low until we break the high. So we will be in an uptrend if we can come break that 760 level. Will it break this week? I don't know. I don't know if it'll break this week. All I can say I'm looking forward to is us at least attempting to come take that 754. That 754.95 high right there, or close, I'll say. All right. Then going down to the daily. So like we said, the weekly is bullish, but it's not an uptrend just yet. So still got a little more ways till we get an uptrend. Looking at the daily though, on the other hand, daily, we were consolidating. If you look at this overall section with the daily, we have been consolidating pretty much. We had higher high, lower low. Then we made another high, low, higher high. So we pretty much ranging back and forth when it comes to the daily chart on SPY. But if we look at the last section, last area of candles or series of candles that we have, we see that we end up making a high, low, higher high. So we was about to start an uptrend. Well, we did start an uptrend, but we immediately broke it. Immediately broke the uptrend. Broke the uptrend, made a lower low, but then we came right back and made a higher high and closed past previous high. Okay. So for me, what I'm looking at, since we did end up coming right back to being bullish after making a lower low, like I said, I'm looking for us to continue and sweep the previous high. So sweep this candle high, this previous day high, that Friday candle high, which was 755.42. I'm looking for us to at least try to attempt and take that high. All right. If we take that high and can hold pretty strong, we should be coming to take that 756.68 level. And like I said, for that weekly, we need to take that 760. Now, do I think we'll take 760 this week? I'm not too sure. You know, we could try to we could just sweep these highs at 755 and then start stalling out. You know, so you can start stalling out. So I'm definitely going to be, I'll say light. You know, light when I get into these entries. I really don't want to go full strong force in my longs until we start breaking above 760 and building the uptrend. Okay, that's 760.40. We break above there, start building an uptrend above it, then I like to take some longs with more conviction. Okay. But as of now, for this week, what I'm looking at, like I said, is this previous daily candle high to get swept. And if you want to continue, of course, that's 756.68. And then next target is this 758.31. Then the 760 is the ultimate target. Now, since we closed past previous structures high right here, and previous swing high we had, I am looking for this low that we got right here that we left behind at 739.51 to hold up. So that'll be the key low that I'm watching out for. I'm looking for this to hold up. Okay. Now, what I mean when I say hold up, I'm looking for, even if we end up getting a red candle for a pullback, I don't want us to come break back below that 739.51 for me to stay bullish. If we break below that, then I'm not looking to be bullish at all. I'm looking at either being neutral for consolidation, or I'm going to just have to wait until some type of trend happens, okay? So pretty much that's going to make me be neutral. If we come below 739.51, I am neutral. But as long as we're above it, I'm looking for some longs, okay? So that's my key level right there. 739.51 is what's going to keep me still wanting to take longs, as long as we're above it. All right, so let's put our drawings back on. As you can see, I got that marked out with a pink line because I'm looking for this to be potentially our new higher low, but I need a pullback and then a higher high to come first. That's why I put a pink line. Y'all know once I actually make it a new higher low, I turn it red. So that's not, like I said, it's that key level that I'm watching. It's gonna make me be neutral. If we just break to the downside of that 739.51, I will be neutral. Okay. I don't even need a bar close. I just needed to break it. And then I'm not looking for the longs anymore. Okay. Like I said, for me, I'm looking for us to come retest as high as 7. Let me mark it out too. We put a light green line. Light green. So at 755.42 is what we're looking for. That is what we aiming for first. And then secondly, 756.68. And like we said, next, at 758.31. I really don't, I'm gonna be honest, I don't see us getting to 760.40 this week, but it's a chance. I mean, we got CPIs and PPIs and stuff and jobless claims, so it's a chance that we can get up there. But as of now, I just don't see it. As of now, I got to see us gain some more momentum, I guess you could say, unless we just pull back slightly Monday and just strongly close bullish past that 756. That's the only way I can see us just rallying up. Now, for my long entries, I'm looking for it above this daily gap here at 753 for 57. So I'm looking for either this here, uptrend above this, and then I'll take it up to that 755, possibly up to 756. Or I'm looking for the exact same thing, but down here at this daily gap at 749.88. So we come tap it, make an uptrend off of it. I look to take them longs. But like I said, I'm looking to take it all the way up to this previous high first. Okay. So that will be what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm gonna put my long and short position tools before I switch to the next chart. So we're either looking for longs here We just gonna aim for that first target first. And then, or we looking for longs here. Let's move it over because that pre-market and stuff gonna come. Let's move it over. Alright, so this is 2 entries I'm looking for potentially. Alright. And then if we just instantly, like, say Monday we instantly already at the highs and we taking the highs off the rip, then hey, Monday is pretty much a no trade for me, or I'm gonna have to just scalp and trade whatever trend I see on the lower time frame. Alright. Moving on to QQQ. Give me 1 second, y'all. Make sure I ain't got nothing popping up. Alright, moving over to QQQ. Let's check out the weekly real quick. Looking at the weekly for QQQ, we end up closing bullish. Now, for SPY, we had 2 bullish candles back to back. For QQQ, this is the first bullish candle. We had a doji candle the last week, okay? But pretty much like how SPY was, we pretty much been consolidating for the past couple of weeks, man. We've been consolidating. We had higher high, lower low, high, low. We're consolidating, okay? 2 key spots to watch out for, though, on this weekly is this previous high that we had at 748.65. And then its previous low at 686.37. That's a huge range though. Almost $100 range. Basically what, $80? I'm just guessing. It's like around 80. Yeah, that's a pretty big range. Pretty big range. But those are two key levels I'm watching for. Okay, on that weekly. Y'all know weeklies can take probably 2 weeks to get tapped, but that's 2 key levels I'm looking for. Should I say $80 range? About $60-$70 range. All right, going to the daily. Like I said, that weekly we did close bullish. So only thing I can say for the weekly is I'm expecting to sweep the previous week high. That's it. All right, going to the daily. Daily, choppy. It's consolidating just like we said before. SPY. Looking at the most recent section though, we had high, low, high, lower low. Okay, so we're in a downtrend. We're in a downtrend as of now. We gotta come break this high of 737.62 to break the downtrend. So that 737.62 is the key level. That's what's holding this overall downtrend. Yeah, that's the key level. For me, what I'd possibly be looking for, I'm not as strong on these loans for QQQ, but if we get a close above this previous high right here at 726.08, if we can close above it, start building some base, make an uptrend, then I like to potentially take the loans up to that 737.62, and then if it can hold above there, of course, I'm looking for it to come take this previous high over here at 745.45. Pretty much that's the only thing I can really see. Other than if we turn red, I could take a short, but the only reason I wouldn't take a short is because it broke this this trend inside of a trend. Like if you can see this, we got low, high, lower, low, right? That's the downtrend. But with inside this overall downtrend, we had high, lower, low. So we just broke this downtrend that's inside the overall trend. It won't have me strong bearish if we do get that red candle. Now, if we would have got a red candle before taking this high, then yeah, I would have said take the shorts. But this right here makes you hesitant and going back bearish. Okay. My boy Nate, what up, Nate? What up, Nate? He said war and a lot of Fed talk. Market will be volatile. Okay. Yeah, Nate. Hopefully everything been going good with you, man. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. I've been seeing y'all Instagram posts, man. I've been seeing y'all Instagram posts. Definitely like the clips y'all been posting, man. All right, all right, all right. But like I said, that's really I'm not as strong as for Spy. Spy, I'm a little bit more stronger on the longs. QQQ is I can see it can range all the way up to 737, but only thing is that I need that base building above that seven. This high right here, the 726.08. I need that base to start building above it. We build above there, then I can see it going up to 737. So I will put a white line there and just see if we can get a base building above there. That's the only way I'll be strong for them longs. Other than that, I can't really. I gotta be neutral. Okay, gotta be neutral. Remove that. Yeah. So like I said, QQ I'm not as strong for. Alright. Next stocks, man. Going into some stocks. Honestly, there's only a couple stocks right now that I'm looking at. First thing first. Oh no, my bad. Sorry, I said going into stocks. We need to go over these futures real quick. My bad, y'all. My bad. All right, going to M and Q. Let's go ahead and jump down to. So we had to do this one live because I didn't prepare these charts because y'all know I do them on Top Step, so I don't have these updated right here, but it's okay. M and Q pretty much look like QQQ, like we said on that weekly. We did end up closing bullish for that previous week. That weekly pretty much is chopping as of now. Now I can say for QQQs, I mean M&Qs, it's slowly grinding up, but we still gotta fully get right back to an uptrend. We got high low, we had high low, higher high, but then made a lower low, higher high, and then we just got a low. Okay. So as of now, we got a lower low with a higher high. The trend not strong right now. Okay. Trend is not strong right now. Even though it's slowly gradually moving up. The most recent thing it did was make a lower low with a higher high. So trend is not strong. Okay. But we did close, like I said, we closed bullish for the last week. Okay, so we can potentially see a sweet previous week high. Can see that. Going down to that daily, pretty much look like QQQ. It's Chop City, man. Chop City. I'll say this, for Friday counter, we did end up closing bullish. We did not come sweep that previous high yet though. That previous lower high. Sitting at 30,094. We got close to it. We ended up getting up to 30,076. So we got close to it, but we haven't came and swept it yet. So it's still technically the last most recent thing it did was make a downtrend. We got low, high, lower, low. I'm really trying to see what Monday counter gonna end up being. So future wise, we probably have to scalp for Monday on a lower time frame because I really want to see what Monday counter end up being. Do we end up closing red and starting to come right back down and take these lows out again at that 20? What is it? 28,910. If we end up closing red on that daily, I am expecting us to come sweep them lows again. But if we end up flipping back bullish, closing green, maybe we want to come take these highs right here at that 30,094. I am keeping my eye on this daily fair value gap here though. That daily fair value gap, if we end up closing red, but we come tap this daily fair value gap, it can get tricky. It could be turning red here. We get Tuesday counter close green, make that uptrend, they're gonna clean up these highs right here. So you gotta be keeping an eye on that. Okay, you gotta keep an eye on that. That's probably the only thing that I'll be watching for. Now, if we get a solid red candle and we close below the daily fair value gap, I'm definitely looking for us to come take them lows out. That'll definitely be the target. So like I said, for Monday, for us, everybody who trading futures, kind of got a scalp on lower time frames, follow trends that's on the lower time frame, but we kind of want to wait until this Monday candle close first before we actually make a true decision. At least wait till that Monday candle close. All right. So let's jump into MYM. Go to MYM real quick. MYM. MYM. Let's go check out the weekly. MYM weekly end up closing bearish. We end up having a red week for MYM. Now, for me, I kind of like MYM chart. It's a little bit more cleaner than MNQ was, and pretty much MES will be. We got full-fledged uptrend for MYM. We got high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Potentially can be a new higher low getting set on this weekly. Once we get our first green weekly candle, I definitely will be looking for us to come re-sweep highs again. So coming right back to them all-time highs. So pretty much I'm just waiting on a weekly green and I'm going back. I'll go back long. Okay. But as of now, like we said, end up closing red. So we gotta see how far down they want to come down. How far down do this low want to get come? Okay. Looking at the daily. Actually, let me go back to the weekly before I get done. On the weekly, another potential spot that we can see to get entering at if we come sweep this previous week low right here at 52,343. We come sweep that low. We could start looking for loans right down there. Okay, we could be looking for loans down there. If we see it sweep that low and then come right back above that low and start building an uptrend, we can look for loans at that point. Now, of course, if it starts building underneath it and it look like that weekly finna close past the previous week's low, that means continuation to the downside, and we probably finna come fill this gap sitting right here. Okay. All right. Now going to the daily. Looking at the daily, it's not as smooth as an uptrend as that weekly, but it's still overall moving upwards in that upwards direction. We look at this daily though. If we look at the most recent candles, last things we did, we made what, higher high with a what, lower low. So when I tell y'all we got a higher high with lower low, or a lower low with a higher high, the trends is not strong, because uptrend gotta have what, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Downtrend gotta have what, lower low, lower high. If we got the two opposite things going together, even if it's overall moving in a certain direction, the trend is not as strong right now. Okay. So yes, we overall moving up, but we got a higher high with a lower low. That ain't a strong uptrend just as of now. Okay. Like we said, Friday did close green. It's closed bullish for Friday. Key level that I'll be watching for this week though is, of course, this low off this big red candle at 52,343. Kind of want to see market try to hold that up if it can. The market come back below there, I'm expecting this daily to start making that downtrend. We should have that low, high, lower low. If we close below this 52,343, I'm taking shorts and I'm aiming for this first low right here at 52,026, and then of course that 51,692. Okay, so those would be the next targets. If we get a day to close below at 52,343, we're looking to come take our trades down to 52,000. My bad, I said 52,008. That's what it is. 52,008 and then 51,692. Those will be the two targets if we close below here. Okay. But like we said, if the market want to come back and start back flipping bullish, we wanted to stay above 52,343, and we would like to see, honestly, Monday. If Monday can stay green, Money can close green. That'll be nice, especially if we can close back to this gap here. Close above this gap. Look for base to build above it. We'll take them longs back to them all-time highs at that point. Okay. So that'll be what we'll be looking for when it comes to NYM. Honestly, on the lower time frames, I'll say for me personally, on the lower time frames, I'll just be waiting for some type of uptrend to start forming, and I'll be looking to take it back to this daily gap and see what we do once we get to that daily gap at 52,866. Do we come up here and instantly start rejecting, and can't build no base inside it, and then we start flushing, or will we, come back inside it and start building an uptrend inside of it to take us to the top of the gap? Okay. As of right now, me looking at it now, that we came and tapped the gap and rejected. So not a hard rejection, but we still got to see what it do in the morning. Because in the morning, it can be coming right back to the bottom of the gap, and then it's having to make a decision. But as for me, them longs, the strong longs is above 53,079. That's when I'm actually fully strong looking for them longs. Then for the shorts, line in the sand for the shorts, for me to go bearish, need a daily closure below 52,343. All right. Now, that's enough with the futures and QQQ and SPY. Now, let's finally get into my stocks that I'm looking for, man. Like I said, I don't really have that many stocks that I'm looking at this week. First thing first one I'm looking at this week is NVIDIA. That's the first one that I'm checking out. Or at least stood out for me when I first looked at the charts. I literally just glanced at it right before we did the stream. But looking at NVIDIA, looking at that weekly, let's hide these drawings real quick. Looking at that weekly is bearish as of right now. It's bearish on this most recent weeks. Okay, these most recent weeks we are bearish. We got low, high, lower, low. That's a downtrend. We're bearish. Last week we did get a nice strong bullish candle, closed above some weekly gaps, fair value gaps. Honestly, one or two things gonna happen is either we're gonna come retest this fair value gap and then see if we can hold above, or market just gonna keep pushing and break these highs and break that downtrend. But looking at that weekly, we had a strong bullish candle. It's looking like it's getting ready to break this downtrend. Okay, look like it's getting ready to break this downtrend. Now, once it breaks the downtrend, of course, we got to figure out, hey, is it going to build some base and start reaching for these all-time highs? Okay, but the previous week candle was a nice strong bullish candle. Really want to see, hey, do we pull back and come retest this fair value gap on the weekly, or do we just keep continuing to the upside and go ahead and break this downtrend? Now, looking at the daily, getting a little bit more insight, the daily look a little bit more cleaner for these longs. Okay, the daily looking a little bit more cleaner. The weekly is bearish. Okay, the weekly is bearish. So we gotta respect the weekly having, a bearish trend, a downtrend. That key level for that weekly is 213.99. Okay, so basically 214. I'm gonna round it up, 214. That's that key level. That's the level that's gonna keep this to be a downtrend. So if market want to stay in the downtrend, expect a hard push back down coming Monday. Okay. But looking at that previous week, I'm kind of leaning to it's trying to break this weekly trend. But like I said, dropping that down to that daily, we got what? We had a downtrend going on. We had low, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. Then we got to this previous week that just passed. We ended up making a high, low, higher, high uptrend. So we just broke the downtrend on the daily. Now, are we going to break the downtrend on the weekly is the question. Like we said, got to break that 214. Okay. But for the daily, we did break the downtrend. We established the uptrend. Now we just trying to see how high we want to go. Okay, how high we want to go. For the daily, for me though, my line in the sand will make me not want any more like bulls be off my mind. Is we come break this low that we just created, this higher low at 198.96. We come break that, then I gotta be neutral at that point. Okay, gotta be neutral at that point. Or if any event any event this week that I see we end up making a low, high, then lower low, then I'll be neutral at that point too. Okay, I'll be somewhat bullish to neutral, I'll say. Okay, but for me, the longs, honestly, where it's sitting at right now is where you will want that potential continuation to the upside. It is a lot more riskier because, like I said, my key level is all the way down at 198. So if we wanted to jump in longs, we would have to get in based on probably like the hourly or 15-minute. Because strictly off the daily, it's a lot more riskier to get in these longs at this moment, just because it's right there at that 214. We're only $5 away at that 214. Well, yeah, $5 away. So it is a little bit more riskier as of right now off the daily. Now, if we drop down to the hourly or 15 and we start seeing the uptrend form, okay, we can bring our stop loss up to that hourly or 15 swing low, and then we can use that to, aid us with our trade to make our stop loss a lot tighter. But looking at this data, I'm bullish, man. I'm bullish. So I really want to see what Monday do. Like I said, I might do exactly what I just told y'all. I might go down to like 15 on the 1 hour. If I see an uptrend forming on the 15 or 1 hour, I'll be looking for them loans. And I'm gonna try to see if we can get to that 214 sometime this week. Okay. If I see an uptrend start forming on the 15 or the 1 hour, I'll be looking to go bullish and trying to see if we can break that 214. Once we break that 214, as long as if we can hold establish an uptrend above it, we should be squeezing up to them 220s, possibly that 222 area. Okay. Now, a better entry trade for me though would be if somehow Monday we end up closing red, and then that very next day we start making an uptrend and it look like Tuesday gonna close green. I would like a long then. Okay, and that'd be a lot better trade. Okay, that'd be a lot better trade. I'll be a lot more confident in at least coming to sweep this previous high here at 210, possibly going to that 214. But as of now, it already had its break, its uptrend break. So now we kind of got to ride the momentum, man. We got to kind of ride the momentum. That's why I said go down to that 15 or that 1 hour. We start seeing the uptrend form. We can use whatever swing low that we got in off of. Once we seen the uptrend, use that to try to aid us to get up to that 214. Okay. But that is what I'm targeting, that 214. Definitely targeting that 214. Now, on NVIDIA, I just put my drawings back on. As y'all see, like I said, that 198.96 is my line in the sand. We break below there, I know my bullish bias is gone. Okay. Now, in the event that we do pull back on NVIDIA, I want my longs, I want us to stay above this 207.72 fair value gap right here. So if we do pull back, and start making a downtrend like on the hourly or anything, it's fine. We can pull back down to that 207.72 level. But once we get there, I want us to reject and start making that uptrend, okay? That's where I'll be looking for potentially my entry to go long. This is where I potentially, when I told y'all, hey, we might have to go down to the 1 hour 15 to get in, this is where I'm expecting my uptrend to potentially form, right in this area, okay? I want my uptrend above, it has to be above that 207.72. We get an uptrend underneath it, I'm not getting in. We get an uptrend above it, I'm getting in. And I'm going to try to take it up to that 214. First, we're going to aim for that 210, 211. So from basically, say we get in at 209, 208, I'm looking to take it up to 210, 211, then eventually that 214 and see what we can do. Okay. So we can go and put a long position tool sitting there. Cause like I said, I got to have it above that 207 level. That's the only way I can get it. Only other way I can get along though is we had to come to the bottom of the gap. So we had to come all the way down to 203, and then I see us rejecting, not closing below. If I see uptrend off of 203, then I'll look to get in also. Okay. So basically, I'm using the fair value gap as my entry. Okay, that's only an event that we make a downtrend and come down to it. Okay, we don't make no downtrend and come down to it. And it like I said, soon I see an uptrend, I'm looking to take it up to 214. After market open, that's the big key. I gotta make sure I say that. After market is open. I don't care if it make an uptrend in pre-market. You gotta do it in after the market is open. I gotta see it being bullish. Alright, so those are two potential entries I'm looking for. Like I said, we gotta see the uptrend above it. Uptrend inside it don't count unless we had touched the bottom of the gap. Alright. But Nvidia definitely is one that I'll be checking out this week. Second one I'll be checking out this week is Apple. Now Apple is like the only reason I got Apple is because it's actually in a trend. Okay, that's the only reason. Because a lot of these charts we've been looking, like if I go scan through some of these charts, like Tesla and Microsoft, all of them, none of those are in the trend. I like to trade with trends being set. Okay, so hey, Apple had a trend. It really ain't the best looking chart I wanted to get in, but hey, it got a trend, so I'm gonna be watching it. All right, looking at the weekly for Apple, man. Weekly for Apple. Let's hide these drawings. Last week we ended up closing bullish. Okay, the previous week we had a nice strong bullish candle. We broke that down. This pretty much, if y'all was paying attention to the Nvidia trade I was just talking about, this kind of what I'm expecting potentially for Nvidia. Right here, you see how I had a low, high, lower, low. That's that. What we said, 214. That'll be the 214 level. I want to see if we're gonna break past it. So pretty much, I'm looking to see if Nvidia gonna do the exact same thing Apple did on the weekly. So let me go to the Nvidia chart. You see that? See how I got low, high, lower, low. I want to see Nvidia when you get up here to 214. Are you gonna break through and close to like how Apple did? Pretty much make the exact same chart that Apple got. Literally. See how Apple came up to that previous lower high and then it broke it? That's literally the exact same thing we looking for. Okay. That's the exact same thing we look for. Now, like I said, when Nvidia flips bearish though on that weekly, then it's gonna if we close red, then of course I'm looking for it to come all the way back down to them lows. Because it's already in a downtrend. But that's enough with Nvidia. I'm getting a little too windy with Nvidia. He said I said double top on Apple. He said present your pullback for higher. Okay. Double. Oh, he said double. My bad. I couldn't see the dang heart on this app. Double top on Apple could present your pullback for higher. Yeah. That's what I was potentially going to say. I'm looking for Apple. Like we said, the weekly for Apple closed, broke the downtrend. Closed past it too. You know, we broke the downtrend and closed past it, not just broke it. So we closed past it. I'm looking for us to continue and come sweep these potential highs, potentially either sweep them or even push past and continue going higher. Okay. We did leave a weekly gap behind. I like that. I do like that we left a weekly gap behind because that also give me almost a little bit more conviction of, hey, we want to keep going higher. Okay. We left the gap behind more times than not. We want to go higher if we leave gaps behind. So yeah, I'm leaning to being bullish. I'm more bullish on Apple than anything. Of course, I would love if it had a weekly uptrend, but hey, it's fine. You know, this could be the weekly uptrend, a bigger picture. It can be high, low, higher, high. Okay, but I'm leaning to I'm bullish on Apple. I'll say based off that weekly. Going down to the daily. All right, now let's see what my boy Nate been talking about. He said it's double top. Okay. Yep, I see the double top. And then he said it could present us a pullback for higher. I agree, Nate. I agree. I could see a pullback for higher, man. Just like Nate said, we see double top up here. We also would think that's why I said I had put Apple on my watch list. We got an uptrend, man. Y'all know if I see a trend, that's when I like trading. We got high, low, higher high, pushed all the way up. Made another low, made another higher high. Okay, so my key levels for Apple, man. My key level for Apple, of course, is this low that we got right here at 307.05. We come break that, I'm being neutral. Okay, we come break 307.05. I'm neutral. I'm not looking for my longs as of right then and there. Okay, I'm not gonna jump in any longs. Okay, um, my target, of course, is this previous high that we just made at 316, and then this high here at 317.40. Of course, we come sweep this 316, 317.40. We can build an uptrend above there. Hey, we can see it squeezing up to them 320s. Um, early like 320, 321, 325 area. It could squeeze higher. The only reason I can say it could potentially squeeze higher is because that previous break, that previous expansion that we just had was pretty huge. You see that? We had high, low, huge expansion. Could be building base and get another huge expansion, possibly taking us to them 330s. But I'm definitely looking for us to potentially push even higher on Apple. Like I said, that 307 is my line in the sand. All I'm really looking for Apple is um uptrend. Honestly, once the day, once like the hourly or something make an uptrend, I'm really pretty much gonna go in once I see an uptrend. Only thing that make me hesitant a little bit is if we get a red daily candle. It really ain't gonna make me too hesitant because the previous higher low is right here. You know, it's not that far away from each other. So even if we do get a red daily candle in the mix before taking this 317.40, all I'm gonna be waiting on is one daily green candle. Soon I see the daily green candle, hey, I'm ready to get in. So Apple, I'm really liking Apple to push higher. I can see Apple pushing higher, man. Like I said, once we get at 317.40 though, that's the key thing to watch out for is, hey, do we build that base above or do we come take it, get a couple green candles, but soon we get our first pullbacks, red candle, do we just come right back below it, That's gonna be the key to watch, okay? So putting our drawings back on, I could change this from yellow. Yellow is my weekly levels, but it's the daily high also. All right, so like we said, at 307 is what I'm watching. I don't want us to break below here. If we break below there, I'm neutral. Not really looking to take no longs, okay? Now, I'm not saying we can't pull back. If we pull back, if we get a pullback, potentially we can come pull back to this daily gap here. We can potentially pull back to the daily gap. We haven't had a strong break and retest of the daily gap. We had a break. Our retest failed because it came to the other side. Then we broke again. So if we do get a red candle, I'm expecting that retest to come on this daily gap right here at that 310.15. We can finally, get that red candle, come tap it. That first green candle, oh yeah, I'm taking them Apple longs at that point. I'm taking them Apple longs. So if we do see a red daily candle, I'm definitely expecting us to come down at 310 to do the retest. Like we said, the first retest failed. We had break, retest failed, then we broke again. So we had to break again. Now this, like we said, it can just break and keep going. It don't have to give us a retest if it don't give us a red candle before taking a high. Okay. But in the event that we do get that retest, this is where I'll be looking for them longs at that 310 level. Okay. But other than that, once the market open up, if I see an uptrend form, I'm dang near just ready to go long off of on Apple. Okay. And I'm really aiming for them 320s first. Like I said, I can see 325, possibly 330. But I'm aiming for them 320s first. Okay. That'll be my first target. So I'd say I'd say 320, then probably 323, and 325. Those be like my target, 320. I go up like every $2.50. That'd be my target levels. All right. But honestly, Monday once we open up, I'm thinking Monday when we open up, it's gonna be in the downtrend for Apple. It's gonna be in the downtrend, basically coming pulling back some, and then once we finally make an uptrend, boom, I'm looking to get in longs, see if we can come on take that 317.40, and then do we build base above it? That's the question. Once we get to 317.40, do we build base above it to let us keep going? Okay, I like Apple though. I definitely like Apple. All right, then the next one on my list, like I said, I don't got that many of them, y'all. Cause like I said, I was going through these dang charts and man, they weren't having no dang trend set. So, all right, Meta. Now this one is a little bit more tricky. Meta, it got a trend, but it ain't how I would prefer my trend to be. I guess you could say it's a trend, but it ain't how I prefer it to be. Let's go to the weekly first on Meta. Looking at that weekly on Meta, man, we had a strong previous week, man. Strong bullish candle. We broke a downtrend. We closed past it at that. Not just broke it, we closed past it. So I'm definitely not expecting us to come back down to these lows once we close past at 540. Um, yeah, we closed past the trend. We closed past the weekly gap. Honestly, the only thing that I can see is starting that the market trying to aim to is these highs at that 691.52 level. Okay, based off this weekly, look like it's trying to come break the highs and then determine if it want to keep pushing higher or not. Okay, going to the daily. Going to the daily. And let me go back to that weekly real quick. Give me one second. That weekly, I can see an event where hey, we might come retest this weekly fair value gap at 653.05. We might come back down there and retest it before trying to go higher. So I won't be surprised if it does that. But how strong this weekly is, I kind of can see us just get a slight pullback. Don't even retest that gap and then just push higher at that point. But I don't know though. Like I said, the daily it's in the uptrend, but it ain't how exactly I would want it to be. Okay. Now looking at the daily on Meta, we got like I said, we had a downtrend, we broke it, but then we ended up coming, we made a high, low. Didn't make that high quite yet. You see that? We didn't make that higher high when we got that. We had just had another high, but then we made a lower low with a higher high. So that's the thing, man. That's why I was saying, hey, it ain't exactly how I want it. Because overall, we got high, low, higher, high. It's overall uptrend. But if you look inside the overall trend, we made a lower low with a higher high. So I kinda would like for us to get a red daily candle for a pullback and then come make another higher high. We come make that next higher high, especially if it can close past the previous high. Boom, I'm looking for longs. Let that mud run. Okay, I'll let it run to the moon. Um, now we may not get that. Like I said, we may not get that red candle, but that would be the ideal for me to get one more red candle and then come make another higher high. But I can see Meta just going straight up and not even getting us that red candle. Now, for me, for Meta, honestly, the line in the sand is pretty far away. The line in the sand for Meta is pretty far away. That's why I don't got it at the top. I got Nvidia and Apple at the top for me. The line in sand for Meta is all the way down at 577.07. This previous day, this Thursday day candle low. So that's a huge drop. That's what basically $100 drop. Okay. Um, that's why I said it's not all the way. It's not all the way on my top. It ain't on the top of my list. I guess you can say. That's the line in the sand for me. Another level that I'll be watching for also is the top of this candle sitting at 633.27. So if we can see, we clearly got from Thursday to Friday, we gapped up. So basically that's the bottom of the gap. I would not want to see market, break that gap if I want to be bullish. And then another key level is the bottom of, or the top of the gap. If I show the drawing, let me put the drawings on. Maybe that'll help what I'm trying to explain. Give me a second. The top of this gap here, we broke a previous gap to the left. So the gap was 663.81. The bottom of the gap was 620.85. Okay. Huge range, right? Huge range. Honestly, for me, I just want to see it just stay above that 663.81. I'm looking for longs. As long as we stay above 663.81, I'm looking for long. Anything underneath that, I ain't touching metal. So that's just to keep it plain and clear and simple. Above 663.81, I can look for some longs. If you get below it, I ain't touching. Okay? So really, I don't even got to worry about that line that's saying down there at 577. Because if we below 663, I'm not touching metal. Okay. Target for metal though, my target is 682.50 and then 691.52. Those are my target. And then of course the light easy target. Once we make an uptrend, I'm looking for 677.86. So if we end up opening up anywhere above 663, we open up anywhere above here, like tomorrow for Monday. Let me go down to the hourly. We open up anywhere above here, 663.81. If we open above it, all I'm looking for is one or two things. Either uptrend to start forming, and I'm going to try to take it back up to 677, or, hey, come retest this. Once the market open, come tap it. Come tap this gap here at 663.81, and then make that uptrend. I'm taking it up to 677. So literally, I only got one entry. Well, I guess you could say two entries, but one entry for metal. Make an uptrend above 663.81. I see that, I'm looking for longs. Other than that, I'm not messing with metal. So that's literally all I'm looking for. First target, like we said, 677.86, and then our like true target that we aiming for is at 682.50. That's the true target we aiming for. And then if market just want to be nice and kind to us, take us up to that 691 level. Okay, take us up to that 691 level. All right. Yeah, that's what we looking for, man. Literally, to keep it plain and simple. Uptrend above 663, we want to mess with metal. Other than that, we're not touching it. All right. And I think, is that it? I think that's it for me. Let me see if Coinbase was one. Coinbase. I don't know. Coinbase kind of could be one. I don't know. It's tricky. I got Coinbase on here, but it's tricky with Coinbase. The reason why is Coinbase got so many dang gaps. That it potentially might be coming back down. Looking at the weekly for Coinbase real quick. We're gonna run through this one quick. Coinbase weekly, we got a downtrend going on. We got low, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high. We closed red for the previous week. Oh, after I ain't even look at the weekly for Coinbase. So now I'm kind of even more not even feeling Coinbase chart. Because we end up closing red for the previous week. So at this point, it kind of making me more lean to Coinbase supposed to come take this dang low at 139. Yeah, I'm not feeling this one. Let me see. Did it close above its weekly high? I mean, its weekly gap that previous week. If it closed above there, then it's a chance that it could come up. So this high was 165.49. Where do we close? Closed at 165. What's that? Hey, 48. So we was 1 cent off. Yeah, I'm not. No, I said 165.48. It was 1 cent off. Yeah, I ain't messing with coin. It is in a tricky situation. I'm thinking it's potentially going to come back down to 139. I was looking at that data. I was being skeptical, like I mean, being more optimistic on potentially going long, but based off that weekly, I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling it because it's weekly in a downtrend. We just closed red, so that's low high, lower low. We should be leading back down to that 139. Let me go to that daily though. Looking at the daily, this would have me kind of potentially was looking for alone, but once I still was skeptical. That's why it's so low on my list. Cause I was like, hey, we end up closing red here. It's some red flag. It's a red flag. Why we didn't just go straight to the high? But when I was looking at Coinbase, we had a high, low, higher high, pullback, green counter. Okay, I mean red counter. My bad. Pullback, red counter for a low. Came down, made some greens. Okay, so hey, we should be moving up, right? Should be moving up. We did move up, but we rejected right here at this fair value gap. The last gap that was in the way, we rejected it and closed red. Now it's not saying that it won't still hold this level up at 154.78. It still can hold this level up and take the highs and make the uptrend and make this into a higher low. But me personally, I'm not taking that risk. Like, hey, when I see my uptrend, when I see my uptrend or downtrend, once I get the color that go with the trend, it should be all that color till we get to the target. So what I mean by that is like this. If I see a downtrend, let me show you a downtrend. Let me see where we got down. We had low high right here. Well, this ain't a good one because this one whole candle did. It's one whole candle did. But if we had low high, lower low, right? If I see a red candle come, I'm looking for us to just pretty much just go straight down to the next low. Okay, I'm pretty much looking for it to just be all red candles to keep going. Coinbase look like not the best chart to show it on because every time it made a lower low, it just was one off that one counter. But like I was saying, I'm looking for pretty much this to be all green candles till we go take that high, basically. And after I seen that red candle, it basically made me be like, you know what? I gotta hold up. I gotta hold up. Cause hey, it's probably trying to consolidate or potentially reverse to come on shoot all the way back down. So honestly, now me looking at that weekly though for Coinbase, saying hey, potentially finna come back down to 139. I kind of could be looking for them shorts if we close below 154.78. We close below there, I'm looking for them shorts to come on down at 139. So it kind of just flipped my bias. But I'm just gonna set the alert only if we cross below. Once we cross below, I gotta see us close below, and then I'll be looking for them shorts possibly down to 139. I say I'm looking more for the shorts now because of that dang weekly. Like I said, that I was being optimistic for longs, but if we break this 154.78, I ain't feeling them longs at all. All right, so Coinbase, we might mess with it this week, we might not. Then I think this is the last one we had. Oh no, we ain't. Yeah, nah. Coinbase was the last one we had. We didn't even put AMD. I thought we had AMD. Oh, we had AMD for the weekly. Oh, that what it was. Cause AMD daily don't look the best, but AMD weekly looked it good. Yeah, that what it was. AMD weekly looked good. Cause we got high, low. Yeah, the daily don't look the best, but the weekly on AMD look good. Um, Looking at AMD weekly, we got uptrend going. That's why I liked it. That's why I put it on here. AMD weekly is in the uptrend. We got high, low, higher, high. High. Higher, high. Higher, low, higher, high. Potentially higher, low, because we just made a new green. Hey, I'm looking for us to come sweep that dang high. Yeah, I'm looking for us to sweep that dang high at, what's that, 584.73. Look for us to get up there. Okay. But the AMD trade is more. It ain't for the day traders, y'all. We have to be swinging this one. If you want to take this AMD, you have to be swinging this one. Because we looking at the weekly chart. We ain't looking at the daily chart. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get in on the AMD one or not. Because I like to have my daily chart line up before I try to just jump in. And the daily chart is just, it's pretty much consolidated. We got higher high, lower low, higher high. So we did have three. We had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 green candles in a row. It could just do a hard squeeze straight up to that high, but I don't know what AMD. I don't know what AMD. I feel like we had to get in off a lower time frame because that daily not showing us enough. I'm thinking maybe retest at 535 and then we can try to take it up to that 584. If it retests down there, it might just pull back slightly and then go higher. It might just do something just like this. Come down, hold up. It might just come down a little bit and then start building back up. But what ideally I would want us to come retest is 535. Retest that 5. I'm gonna set an alert right there. We can come down to that 535. I'd be a little bit more leaning to taking my longs. It's more of a gamble taking it up here. But I'm telling you, I can see it squeezing back up to that 585, man. I can see it. But I just want some more base. That's basically what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on some more base on a lower time frame. Cause like we said, looking at this daily, man, it's choppy, you know. It's bullish, but it's choppy. Like I said, we got high, lower low, higher high. You see that? So, but like I said, I very well can see us pushing higher though, man. We can do something like this. So, I don't know. AMD, that's literally a watch list play. Like we just gotta glance at it and see what it's doing. But I think that is it for me this week. Other than we can go over SpaceX. We can go over SpaceX just because I've been having fun messing with SpaceX, man. We've been having some fun with the dang SpaceX trade. My thoughts on SpaceX though for this week. I'm thinking we finna come on down, possibly down to like 139. Oh well, I can see we're already coming down. Yeah, trading we got this dang. You can see overnight. Yeah, we coming down. I was expecting us to come down though this week, probably down like 139. Maybe that's where we probably start trying to bounce. But for me, for SpaceX, y'all know we end up, or dang, y'all don't know because only TikTok people knew I got into these longs here. Um, we took them. Well, the TikTok viewers know we took the longs at 157. We took it up to 170. Got out because we was like, hey, we trying to see what this 172 weekly gap gonna do. So we just went ahead and got out at 170. Good thing we did get out at 170 because it dropped hard. You know, it rejected this dang gap, that daily fair value gap on the weekly. I mean, the daily fair value gap on the daily. My bad. It rejected the daily fair value gap. Let me mark it out so y'all can see. Mark this daily gap out. And that green box I got is a 4-hour gap. I had that marked just because we didn't have any other gaps at first. That was before this daily gap came. So I could delete that 4-hour now. But yeah, it rejected this daily gap. So like we said, we got in at 157, got in them dang options, got out at 170, and it literally came up to that 172 level that we marked out and rejected instantly. So now, like we said, I'm expecting SpaceX to come down to like 139. Maybe it could drop even further, but that 139 is kind of where I'm looking at for potentially try to start making the bounce. Honestly, all we looking for on SpaceX is this dang downtrend to end. Once the downtrend end and we start making an uptrend, I'm looking for the loans back up to 172. And if we can finally break that 172, I think we got room all the way up back to them 200s. Back up to them 200s, man. We finally could break that 172. I can see us squeezing back up to these 200. Oh, 190 right here, 193. We got a gap. Mark that out. Really got a gap. Right there. Okay. So literally all I'm waiting on is dang daily gap to break. And then I'm looking to go long, man. That's it. It really ain't that much. I mean, SpaceX, we probably gotta wait till next week before we get to do anything. Unless somehow we just start squeezing bullish this week. But that's it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. And y'all have a good one. And I should be going live tomorrow. So, but we're gonna be trading futures tomorrow. I don't think we're gonna be in any. If we get in options, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna say it on stream, but we're probably gonna just have the futures charts open tomorrow. I might just trade Ninja Trade. I might just only trade NYM because y'all know Mondays I usually don't like going heavy on Monday. So I might trade NYM on Ninja Trader on my live account tomorrow. Yeah, that's probably what we do tomorrow. We might just go on the live account tomorrow and trade NYM. Try to make a couple dollars for Monday. But option wise, if I do get in some more options, it's gonna have to probably be Meta or Apple. Cause them two are so close to, you know, pushing up to that new high. Like they real close to it. Nvidia, it can probably stall a little bit more. It probably can stall at least for another day or two. But Apple and Meta, they kind of got to make their decisions by tomorrow. Honestly, they really don't have that much space. Especially Meta. Meta definitely don't got that much space. Like for my criteria, it literally sitting at where it's sitting at overnight 665, and I told y'all if it's below 663, I don't want it. So it don't have no space at all to make a decision. Apple, they got a little bit more space, but it still basically ain't got that much space at all to make a decision. So if we do get in some Monday, it's gonna be one of them two probably. Nvidia, maybe we'll get in Monday on Nvidia. I don't know. We might get in because it is sitting at almost at that 207 level. Maybe, but it can, like we said, Nvidia can play around for like a day or two. But other than that, man, we go ahead and end it right here, man. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Your boy Keith is out.